Who did you fight that was a friend of yours and you had to go in there and kill him?
This is business.
Yeah.
If that was my mother, I have to decimate her as well.
Yeah.
This is business.
I love you, man. I just love being with you.
Well, I love being with you as well.
Yeah.
It's both ways.
Yeah, I know. And I feel that from you. So, how many of you have been a fan of Mike Tyson for years?
Oh, God.
How did you do that, dude? Do you know? What did you do? What did you do to create? Because everybody loves Mike Tyson.
I died in front of people many a times. And it appears that I resurrected myself, I guess.
So talk to me about how do you die and then resurrect yourself?
Well,
everybody needs to know how to do that.
Well, it starts off like this. You lose everything. Everybody you loved, everybody you thought you loved, and you start all over again. But this time, I'm starting with experience. Before I had no experience, so everything was like, wow, what can I say? It was really difficult. And I had to learn through that experience to start over. But now it's a whole different subject. I'm experienced now.
So Mike, would you say you look good, man?
Yeah,
does he look good or what?
Too.
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 58.
58.
In June 30th, I'll be 58.
58. You look great, dude.
I feel great.
You look great.
I feel great.
Don't argue with me.
Well, it's the truth. I'm trying to elaborate the truth with you.
So, what was your first success? When did you have the first successes where Mike was like, shit, I could be something?
When I first met my mentor, Customado, when I was 13 years old. Yes. All day. Catskill brain basher all day.
So you met him and
yes.
Kiki, yes. I didn't want to bring it up that soon.
Yes, I met him and he told me he summoned me. In which by looking at all the episodes that happened in my life, I think he was right. He did summon me from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Yeah.
And where was your mom and dad? I don't know the early story of Mike Tyson.
Oh, you want to learn that?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. My family was in the sex industry. Okay, so I seen a lot of sex in my life. I seen my mother have sex with me in the bed. Every time I came in the house, somebody was having sex, and they were high and drunk. So that's the world I come from, and violence as well. So that's where I came from. I was arrested probably 30 times by the time I was 13. I was a violent kid. I did really bad things that I'm really not proud about, but I call it survival. And I met this gentleman, this Italian man. I thought if he heard me say that, he would kill me. So, I just never met a person like that. He was more like a Roman emperor than just a boxing trainer, and he picked out all the best qualities in myself, and he taught me how to love myself.
And so, he was like a dad then, right?
Big time. He adopted me. Yeah, he adopted me when I was 16, I think.
Yeah,
18.
so I lost my dad when I was 10. By the time I was 13, I was gone. I was in trouble. And I actually asked ChatGPT today. I said, what does Mike Tyson and Grant Cardone have in common? Resilience and overcoming difficult early lives. Both faced significant challenges during their childhoods. I would say yours were much greater than mine.
Well, that's relevant. It's the feeling behind it. Somebody could lose a fight and get knocked out, obliterated, and somebody could lose a basketball game. It's the same feeling. We failed.
Yeah, we failed. And so, when you fail, what does that feel like to you?
I can't wait to have another match similar and revenge myself.
You do want to?
Yeah, all the time.
So I was watching you backstage, and you remember that thing that says "success is your duty"?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Because I've heard you talk about whether it's important or not important. Like you've gone through different cycles in your life where you're like, I want it and I don't want it. I don't need it.
Well, let me just say this. I would, and this will answer all those questions. I'd rather have a few years of glory than a lifetime of obscurity. Yeah. I'd rather die 20 than live to be 60 and be nobody.
Yeah. So you like the glory. You want the glory.
I was born for this. I was just born for this. I think I'm Alexander the Great in another life. Yeah.
You think you were what in another life?
I think I'm Alexander the Great in another life, yeah.
Yeah. He was a bad dude.
Well, he was smart. He was smart and clever. That's what made him bad, because he wasn't a big guy, he was a little guy, and but he was a leader. He made people follow him, to their death, and that's a leader.
So, Cuss saw what in you?
He told me he saw the willpower, determination. I just had to bring it out, and he needed to show me discipline. Discipline, doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. And that was the message, and I learned from him.
So the training. Did you want to do the training, or you?
I love training.
Yeah.
I would train the whole day. I wouldn't eat food because I was overweight back then. I used to see the fighters on the scale, the guys in their 20s, the 70s, and they'd get on the scale and they're ripped. If they breathe and you see every if they go like this, you see every muscle in their body. And I say, I want to be like those guys. I want to be like that. I want people to look at me and say, hey, he's beautiful.
Well, and you got there.
Yeah.
Dude, when you see those old tapes of you, 20 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old, what do you see?
I made a lot of mistakes.
You did?
Yeah, that they couldn't capitalize on.
You saw the mistakes you were making, but they didn't see them?
No.
Well, like what?
I may drop my hand when I punch a little bit or something like that. I may just come in without jabbing and moving my head.
But dude, you were like undefeated for how long?
Well, you could be undefeated, but that don't mean you're the best.
Right. But you were the best.
It appeared to be, yeah.
You appeared to be.
Yes.
But goddamn, he was the best. Look, here's a guy that was the best, and he's saying no. It appeared to be the best.
Well, listen. Let me say that these are business individuals, right?
Yeah.
These guys are very successful. A lot of these guys believe they're better than anybody in their firm or something. But deep down inside, you ask them who's the best, and they won't say the self. If they're honest, deep down inside, they won't. Well, no, he's the best.
Wow. First fight you lost, where you were like, okay, this is a problem.
No, it wasn't a problem. It's like you having a bad day up here. Same thing. I just get beat up. I get black eyes and busting cuts. But it's the same feeling. We go home with some kind of, how can I revenge myself? How can I take myself to a higher level of success and make everyone jealous of me? Because that's just what it is. Even if you don't want them to be, they're going to be jealous of you. Your family members, your best friends. And I'm like Voltaire. God, I can handle my enemies. Save me from my family and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, real talk.
100%. Because, so why do you like knowing who the enemy is, and why is that easier for you to deal with it than the people that are close to you?
No, I don't like knowing who the enemy is.
You don't like?
No, because the enemy would expose himself. I don't have to know who he is. He'll tell me who he is.
How do you know who he is?
Excuse me?
How do you know who the enemy is?
I'm not clairvoyant or anything, but listen, you could detect your enemies. You could detect them. You feel in the room, your hair rise on your arm. You just know your enemy. At least I do.
Yeah. No, hey.
Listen, everybody that helps you is not your friend. Everybody you fight is not your enemy. You have to remember that.
I like that.
No, that's real talk.
I asked you once, I think I was at...
So an enemy who may be perceived as an enemy fighting with you and could be a friend.
Right.
But you have to perceive that, you have to be able to tell the details.
Like, who did you fight that was a friend of yours and you had to go in there and kill him? Holyfield?
I knew him since I was a kid. I knew a bunch of fighters I fought with since I was a kid. But this is business. Yeah. If that was my mother, I have to decimate her as well. Yeah. This is business. It's just business. Nothing personal.
So, and everybody agrees on that.
these are business people, and that's a form of business, having no feeling. Because once you have feelings, okay, you could live in an apartment, don't pay me this month, but maybe pay me next year, and then you're screwed. He's never going to pay rent.
And when you brought your feelings into the ring, did that interfere with your ability to win?
Absolutely, yeah. Because once your feelings are in the ring, you think about, wow, I don't want to get hit, I'm this and that, and you're apprehensive. And once you're apprehensive, it's over with.
Now, let me ask you, this is on the fight thing. I've always wondered if I could take a punch, okay? How does somebody, do you think I could take one?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
How does somebody get used to being hit?
It's all psychological. Most fighters been doing it since they're 9, 10 years old. They can do it in their sleep. Like, for instance, I would be in school, Cus would call me and say, it's emergency at the house. I'm 15, 16 years, it's emergency at the house. Boom, I come to the gym, I'm boxing the European champion, sparring, just to get in shape and become a better fighter.
But like, somebody said to me once, they said, look, you have to, what was it about? You have to be able to really hit, the first thing you have to learn is how to take a hit. Is that true?
That's not true.
No?
Boxing's about hitting and not being hit. That's boxing. That is boxing.
Is that similar to business?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to sign this contract, but I wait for this guy to come and I'll sign his contract. Right. But it's just a matter of time. Timing's everything, yeah.
So, Mike, what was the height of your career? Like, when you look at your 58 years, like, if you look back and scan 58, what was the highest point?
Losing to Buster Douglas. Yeah, that was the highest point in my life.
Why was that the highest?
Because I had to show something after that. I'm going to be one of these guys, as long as I'm winning, I'm doing good? No. You have to overcome adversity and win again. Well, he didn't fight me again, so I had to fight someone else for the title.
And then the next fight was what?
A good friend of mine, Henry Tillman, he's Olympic gold medal, and then I fought with...
Did you beat him?
Yes. He beat me twice in the amateurs, though, and I knocked him out in the pros. And Razor Rug, that's a real brutal fight for me. I broke my ribs, and that was just brutal.
How many times did you fight busted up? Were you always busted up?
No, probably I hurt my hand from training, but never from the fight.
But are you going into a fight with a busted hand?
No, I'm going in a fight with a winning spirit.
So it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So you're telling me that you fought when you didn't feel like it. You fought when your emotions were down. You fought when you were depressed, and you fought when you were hurt.
Well, let me explain this. And these are people who they understand this. I have a fight coming up June 20th. Okay. Right now, I'm scared to death. But the closer it gets to the fight, the least nervous I become.